show has time. Looks for Deutsch. Deutsch at the one into the end zone.
Sunde to serve, dug out by Bishop. This to the middle and slamming one home.
And free ball to the crossover. Eilertson will get the pass for Holly, set up left side. Rusted down with the kill. He'll play action now, look to pass over the middle. It's intercepted by Cole Hebel. Intercepted by Hebel, and he brings it back.
Set it up, Boston left side. Big kill blocked at the net. Kept alive by the Greyhounds.
Fetting's got room, and here's Bo Fetting. Fetting's still on his feet. Fetting's gone. Bo.
The Your Live Event Coaches Show is presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Committee.
Hi, I'm Joe Lancello, and welcome to another edition of the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, brought to you by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. We'll be talking with Dean French, the coach of the Fargo South-Shanley boys hockey team, the North Dakota State hockey champions. We'll be talking with boys basketball Trevor Stewart from Ada Borup West. We'll also hear from representatives from Thompson and Central Cass as they get ready to play for North Dakota Regional Championships on Thursday. We'll also talk with Jason Sunde of the Dilworth Clinton Felton girls basketball team as they have made it to the 8AA girls basketball semifinals. We're going to start things, though, with the Central Cass girls basketball team as they defeated Thompson in overtime last Saturday in Minot to win the North Dakota State Class B girls basketball championship. I had a chance to talk with their coach, Jay Bachman, and also during the course of the interview, Decontee Smith of the Squirrels will be joining us. Central Cass, the winners of the North Dakota Class B State Girls Basketball Championship last weekend in Minot. Just the mention of those very words brings a smile to the face of Coach Jay Bachman of Central Cass. And the Squirrels doing it courtesy of wins over Bowman County, Rugby in overtime, and then Thompson in overtime. An unforgettable week. About all I can say about it.
Yeah, I mean, unforgettable is a good way to put it. Stressful, that's a word that keeps coming back to my mind. But also just very exciting and very happy for, how it ended, obviously, and couldn't have honestly asked for a better experience. Couldn't have asked for a better way to win. If you wanted to, looking back, couldn't have asked for a better way, really.
It started off with a relatively easy win over Bowman County, but then against Rugby, you did have the leads, and it had gone into the fourth quarter where they were, I think, ahead by 2 with some 20 seconds to play, and you were able to tie it up. And what did you say to your team at that point when you were down 2 late in regulation?
Yeah, so, there was 22 seconds left. Looking up at the clock, we were down 2. I think in the huddle, I said, we're not done. If we, we're going to run this press, if we're going to go for a steal really hard and then a trap. If we don't get the steal or the trap, then we're going to foul right away. We want to foul X, Y, or Z. We don't want to foul this girl.
Sure.
And then they threw it out of bounds. They did us a favor, right? And then it went out of bounds so far that it went right back to the sideline. When we got to the sideline, my assistant coach said, run this play that we had just put in like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. And then the play literally worked to perfection. So it ended up working okay. Right as we were breaking the huddle, my assistant coach said, there's a lot of game left. We're going to get 5 or 6 possessions out of these 22 seconds. So don't give up. But luck was on our side a little bit, and it all worked out, I guess.
And in the overtime, I'm looking at my score sheet here. I think, well, I know there wasn't a lot of scoring in the 4 minutes, but I think Decontee had the only basket that you had,
Yeah, so there wasn't a lot of scoring. No, I don't know the exact stats, but I know she made a huge shot. I think we might have made a free throw even. A couple free throws, and then our defense was just really good that last few minutes. Because I mean, we held them down. They were shooting really good at the time, and I thought we made some really, really good defensive plays to kind of get them how we wanted to get them.
The Thompson game, actually, you were ahead in the last couple of seconds, but then Olivia Dick made a three, and then you've won it, and then you've got to win it again.
Yeah, there was like 7 seconds left. The out of a timeout, me and my coaches are debating, do we foul early and make him 2 free throws, or do we, what do we do? And how the game had played out, I thought it was best if we just, played some defense and held them to a tough shot, which we did. And she made a really tough shot. I was actually like directly in line with it as she shot it. And I'm thinking, we got it. And then she banked it in. So it was okay though. Honestly, we got back to the huddle and I told the girls we just kicked their butts for 3 minutes. So let's do it again. And then the girls like didn't seem nervous. Like, honestly, the girls were in the huddle and they were like smiling and kind of laughing, honestly. Like, can you believe it? We're doing another overtime. And I was never really scared or nervous. Like I had a good feeling, and I think the girls had a good feeling too.
Well, on the other hand, they got to play a lot more basketball, which I'm sure they enjoy doing together.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they got a whole extra quarter, I guess, 2 overtimes equal a quarter. So they got a whole extra quarter. And I mean, looking back, that'll just make it more memorable, right? It'll make it like yesterday, one of our local congressmen went out and they were in Bismarck, and he announced it. So now it's officially in the North Dakota State Archives forever. So saying that we had 2 overtime games, and talked about Decontee being the tournament MVP, and it was a cool thing for him to do that for us. So it's just a really memorable thing for our community.
Yeah, Claire Cotton with the basket and free throw, the old-fashioned 3-point play to put you ahead to stay, as it turned out. She had a great tournament, and so did Decontee Smith. And saying she had a great tournament is maybe understating it a little.
Yeah, for sure. Decontee had a great tournament, right? Like 78 points, 35 rebounds, like MVP, right? That's what I said in my interview with WDY. Is I said MVP. She was MVP for a reason. And then Claire, I didn't realize it, but was 5 for 5 for free throws. All of them were in I believe, the fourth quarter and overtime. And we didn't shoot free throws very well. We were like 16 of 30. And for her to go 5 for 5 late in the game was huge. It was just so awesome. And I knew Claire could do it. Like, she had so much confidence when she got to the line. It was really cool.
And I think you've got Decontee Smith next to you.
I do. Would you like to speak with her?
Yes, if we can turn things around here. Hello, Decontee. This is Joe. How are you?
I'm good.
Congratulations on being the tournament MVP and all-region player, and just an outstanding week at state.
Thank you so much.
It seems like there are times when you just get the ball, we can just kind of tell by the body language that you got this. And so much of the time you did.
Well, we've worked so hard this season, and I've always wanted to be in the state tournament since I began to play basketball. So being there was a great opportunity, and I just knew that I had to give it my all for my senior year, especially.
And you've got a great bunch of classmates too. I mean, the Cotton sisters and Tori Richter and Taylor Severson. And Camry Nelson, I should mention too, and Mickey Prochnow. You all were part of something really, really special.
Yes. So those girls that you named, been playing basketball together since like 3rd grade, and I joined the pact in 7th grade. So we've been playing for a very long time, and the chemistry with us has just gotten better each and every single year, and it's been really fun playing with them. So playing in the last state tournament together and winning it was a dream come true.
What was going through your mind when the final buzzer sounded in overtime and the game was over?
I can't even just I don't even know, like so much emotion. And like I was just thankful for like to be there and to finally do it for the first time ever. So
You got kind of stampeded by a whole bunch of students too. I remember that much.
yeah, that's like the thing. Like they all stormed the court and we like all fell to the ground. And
Okay. Well, Decontee, what is in your future as far as college goes? Will you be playing basketball at the next level?
I'll be playing basketball at Northern State next year. For Coach Paula Kruger.
That's a very good Division II level, that Northern Sun Conference, and heck, you might be back playing at Minot State next year.
Yeah,
The Wolves uniform.
yeah, they're in their conference, so I definitely will be.
Okay. Well, Decontee, again, congratulations and thank you for the time today, and enjoy the rest of your senior year.
Thank you so much.
Okay, let's go back to Coach Bachman for a second. And just to kind of wrap things up here, Jay.
All right.
As far as I was just mentioning with Decontee, that senior class of yours, all 7 of those girls, that's going to be a tough bunch to try to replace next year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you like to say that you're just going to keep going, right? Keep moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely some big gaps to fill, some big holes to fill. Losing 7 seniors is huge, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
losing anybody's hard. But losing 7 at one time is going to be really hard. No, I think we have the right tools and I think we have the right keys coming back. Next year, we're going to be a little bit younger, obviously. But I think the seniors did a good job of getting us in the right spot, right? Like they built the program, right? Like honestly, my last year seniors and this year seniors, they set the standard, right? They set it high. They set it hard. Our practices are tough. And it's now we're hopeful it's a program, right? Before it was hard because we had a bunch of different coaches in and out. And now I've been able to be here for a few years and kind of set the standard. And the girls really just did such a good job with their leadership roles and building it how we built it. And they are going to be missed, but they honestly did a really good job of setting us up for the future too.
I'm reminded of something that's on the Montreal Canadiens hockey team's locker room, and it's got pictures of like former greats. To you, we pass the torch.
Yeah, for sure. That's a perfect way to say it, right? You always keep moving forward, and that's kind of the beauty of high school sports, right? Is you don't recruit, right? You don't have a person for 12 years. Like you got your girls for those few years or those boys for a few years, and then pass the torch and you keep moving on. And, we're still going to be sad and we're still going to miss them, but we're going to enjoy this one for a while though. We're going to enjoy it for a while longer before we move on. We're going to enjoy this one, and we're going to remember it forever, and we're going to keep enjoying it.
All right. Jake Bachman, coach of the state Class B champion girls basketball team, the Central Cass Squirrels. Thanks to you and Decontee again, and we'll be talking with you soon.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. We'll continue on the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, brought to you by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation after this.
Take a good look at Hillsborough. It's conveniently located between Fargo and Grand Forks. Hillsborough is a growing community with solid local schools with high graduation rates. There's an industrial park ready to host a new business. And there's Woodland Park with activities all year round. The Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation asks you to take a good look at Hillsborough when you're thinking about a place to put down roots and grow. For more information, contact the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation at growhillsborough.nd.com. Lee Brothers Sales, Highway 9 in Ada invites you to order your new Chevrolet vehicles. From the Silverado, Trailblazer, and Traverse, Lee Brothers is your authorized Chevrolet dealer, providing sales and service to the area since 1975. For ordering your vehicles, talk with Mitch Smurfer J. Trust the experts who know your vehicles best and take advantage of great Chevy certified service offers today. Lee Brothers Sales, Highway 9, Ada. Call 218-784-2000.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. Many factors impact your ability to increase profits on the farm. Make sure your planter is an asset and not a liability. Some limiting factors in making the perfect planter pass are row maintenance, meter calibration, and downforce management. It will not cost you anything to have the conversation about identifying those limiting factors. Call RDK Enterprises 701-636-2119 or planterdoc.com.
We'll talk some boys high school basketball now on the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, brought to you by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. Kevin Cookman had a chance to speak with Trevor Stewart of the Ada Bora Plus boys. We'll get to that in a moment. We'll get to Cole Holzer of Central Cass, the Squirrels basketball star, part of his team's still undefeated season as they defeated Hankinson last night in the Region 1 semifinals. But first, we'll go to Region 2. Jake Berkmeyer had a chance to speak with Thompson's Brandy George and player Drew Overby after the Tommies defeated Mayport CG in the Region 2 semifinals last night. And that sets up a game with Grafton, the defending Region 2 champions, for another region title, and that will be Thursday night in Grand Forks.
Coach George, your Tommies did it here. Talk about that comeback and able to take the victory.
Well, it was gutsy. I mean, I'm so proud of these guys. Yeah, I'm a little emotional right now. We finally got over that hump. We got down early, and it was a struggle. It was a fight, man, but found a way. We bounced back, and we had some guys hit some huge shots at big times, and we got some rebounds and some stops. And, yeah, I just love these guys. This is what it's all about. That's Class B basketball, and give a lot of credit to Mayport and Coach Kunkel and everybody. I mean, they're a hell of a team, and they play the right way, and I'm excited. I'm happy for our boys and excited for Thursday night.
A big win, like you said, to get over that hump and really the team effort to do it. You got 48 hours now here to get everything ready for a region championship now.
Yeah, we're going to enjoy it. We're going to enjoy it, but we're going to ready to go back to work tomorrow and get ready for Thursday night. So.
All right, Coach, congratulations. Best of luck.
Thank you.
As we also have Drew Overby with us as well, as that was head coach of Brandy George. And Drew, for your Tommies, congratulations. You're going to the region championship.
Thank you. It's unbelievable feeling. I mean, we haven't been here in a few years, and it's just good to be back.
Take us through that second half. You guys overcome back and forth, teeter-tottering there, trading leads. What did it do to win it?
Yeah, going into halftime, we're down 6. You guys are kind of down in the locker room. We just need to pick it up a little bit, and we did just that. Third quarter, we kept going back and forth. In the fourth quarter, we pulled away at the W.
They kept hitting shots. You kept hitting shots. So how do you guys stay focused there and not rush too much, I guess, if you can?
I mean, we just got to keep our composure throughout the game, and it's a tough thing when we're young like that, but if we keep our composure, I think we'll be just fine on Thursday.
All right, well, best of luck to you. Congratulations to you and your teammates.
Thank you.
Joining us now courtside is Cole Holzer here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Chase Miller, Bryce Laxdal with you here. Cole, what did it take in the second half to fend off Hankinson for the second time this season here in Richland County?
Oh, we got to keep working. We worked hard. That helped a lot. Sorry. We struggled to get them out the O board, so we had to work a little harder at that. So we got to keep doing that. And obviously their 3 balls, they hit that a lot. So we started with that last game and obviously this game. So that helped when we kind of took that away there at the end.
Cole, what were you feeling going into the second half, knowing that you were held scoreless in the first half? What was your mindset going into the second half to help your team out?
My mindset, well, we were struggling kind of right away. We started off real hot, and then we were struggling a little bit. So later in the third quarter, I wanted to get it in a little more, try to pound it inside. And obviously that worked later in the second half.
And ultimately, at the end of the day, you had to withstand a bunch of runs in Hankinson. You had to withstand a bunch of runs here as well in Wahpeton. What is it about this team, Cole, to withstand 1, 2, 3, 4 runs in a row and just find a way to go, okay, put it behind us. Let's get the next defensive stopper, get the next offensive points. What is it about this team all year long to do that?
We like to pick each other up. We don't try to get down too much on each other. Make sure everyone's focused and working hard. and we guys keep working like that. And we like to share the ball, so we keep moving it. And when they go for a quick basket, we come back and give one right back.
For this team to get to the Region 1 championship, hopefully Mother Nature allows us to get here, Cole, in 48 hours, but this team to get here, you had goals throughout the season. Regular season champs, mark. Get to this point, that's a mark. There's still one big goal, at least here in Wahpeton, to get to. What does it mean for this version of the Squirrels?
Of course, we've been working at this for a while. We've gone out in the semifinals for way too many times, so we want to keep working. We kept working. It means a lot because we lost twice. I've lost twice in the semifinals, so it's big to get there once, and now we got a shot at it, and we've worked towards it all season. We just want to try to get there and win that game.
Hey, Cole, congratulations. Best of luck coming up in the Region 1 championship.
All right, thank you.
Edinburgh West boys basketball head coach Trevor Stewart with us here today, and I know we're having a few camera issues there with Trevor. See if we can't get that one back here as it goes. But Trevor, when we look at playoff time, the Section 8A basketball bracket release, guys end up with that 4 seed in the East half. The East half is absolutely loaded. It's the worst kept secret in the area. The East half is loaded in 8A boys basketball, and for the Cougar boys, you lock in the 4 seed. And it's going to be a challenge no matter who you got any given night, and you're going to get Black Duck to come to your place for the matchup here on Thursday. So when the guys got the news, figured it out, home game, that's got to be probably a bigger piece of excitement to get a chance to host here that first round.
Yes. Well, first I apologize for the camera glitches here, but yes, to have a home game, definitely a plus. I think something the guys are excited about, getting a home game for sure in the playoffs, and getting this thing started. So it hasn't necessarily been a kind February to us. Schedule got very difficult, and we had some tough losses. We really did. So we kind of dropped a little bit out of that main conversation, maybe, and maybe that's okay. Learn from some experiences, hopefully, and maybe find a little magic in March.
That's right. You talk about it. There was a stretch. It was a rough patch. Guys learned a lot about each other, learned about the wins and losses, the ups and downs. It was not, February wasn't too kind, but hopefully that has battle tested the boys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sometimes the best lessons you can learn is not necessarily all your wins, but sometimes you can take away some pretty good stuff from some losses too. So we definitely had our share down the stretch, and like I said, it was against some quality opponents, so it was still a good experience for us. But hopefully we can kind of put some things together and learn from some of our losses and play real well on Thursday and going into a tournament.
You've been able to learn much about the opponent. I know that with the way that the QRF broke down this year, the direct head-to-heads, things of that nature that were factored in. The Black Duck Drakes is like 16-10, so you similar record, right there, 4-5 as you would expect. I think it looks like they've won, like 3 of their last 5 games. They've had some good battles recently, ended the regular season against Castle Lake Bena. But have you able to get a view of what they bring to the table?
We've been able to, to find a few of their games on YouTube and things of that nature. So, we saw them live one time early in the year up in Boston. I believe they played in a little holiday, a little get together. So we were able to see them live one time way back. But, of recent, watching some of their films and some of their games. So, we're familiar with them. Obviously, we don't see them a lot, never have played in my years of coaching. So, it's like you said, a 4-5 matchup. It's definitely going to be, 2 teams that probably are similar and have had some good times and lost a few games along the way as well. So nothing going to be easy about it, but I think just looking at them, they definitely have some size. I think they got some physical kids. They have some shooters to go along with that. So, being present on the glass and really rebounding, I think really is where it starts for us. And hopefully Thursday we can do a good job and keep those bodies at a minimum off the glass.
We had a chance to see them play a football game in the subset or a section championship 9-man against Fertile Beltrami inside the Fargo Dome in the football contest, a physical game. I don't know how many of the guys play I know from the football team to the basketball squad, but yeah, I think the word physical probably describes this squad from Black Duck pretty well.
Yeah, that's we're getting that kind of, confirmation from some of the coaches around the area, and definitely, like I said, seeing them live. I think it starts with that. So, I think some of our athleticism and quickness might give them some issues if we can get out and pressure and run the floor a little bit. But at the same time, if it gets into a real grind game, we're going to have to really be battled on those glass and really steal some second chance opportunities ourselves and definitely limit them as much as we can.
Yeah, and for your guys, you're hopeful for a great showing. Obviously, the team that has had some good expectations have shown that they can be in the gym with anybody, and now it's just where you put the guys out on the floor and you hope that they can rise to the top for the playoffs.
Absolutely. I think that's the one thing, once you start over on Thursday, everybody's record goes back to 0-0, and what you've done in the past is in the past, and now it's about finding ways to survive and advance, if you will. And one thing about our guys, we maybe not won all those tough games on the stretch, but we know we were competitive, and I think we believe, and I think that's the only thing that matters, is that we got a chance against anyone in this section. So it's a very good section, not taking anything away from that. We know that it's a very tough road, but it starts Thursday, and you just got to win one at a time.
We talked about it. I mean, just top to bottom, the East half is loaded. Should be fun to see where everything unfolds here. Again, Thursday night, 7 o'clock at the Edinburgh West High School Gymnasium. 4 versus 5 Cougars take on Black Duck. Trevor, thanks for the time. I appreciate it very much, and look forward to seeing you at the ball game there on Thursday night.
All right. Thanks, Kevin.
Have you adjusted your crop insurance policy to reflect the increase in commodity prices and input costs? Hi, this is Bethany Rentz, crop insurance agent with YLE Insurance. We want to partner with you to provide you a comprehensive policy structure to protect your farm's revenue and preserve your equity. Give us a call today to set up a time to meet with an YLE Insurance agent prior to March 15th. For contact information, please visit our website at YLEins.com.
You're protected and appreciated at YLE.
YLE Insurance is an equal opportunity provider.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a local golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities, there hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms. Saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage. Our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
Welcome back to the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show. We continue with a talk with a champion coach. Dean French is the coach of the Fargo South-Shanley Bruins, who won the North Dakota State Boys Hockey Championship a couple of weeks ago. We'll hear from him. And following that, we'll hear from Jason Sunde, the coach of Dilworth Glendon Felton's girls basketball team, as the Rebels are in the 8AA semifinals at this hour, taking on Perham. Welcome back to the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, brought to you by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. Fargo South is the boys state hockey champion in North Dakota. I should say Fargo South-Shanley. After a triple overtime win over Grand Forks Red River, and Dean French is the coach of the Bruins, the champions. Belated congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Triple overtime. That had to be just an outrageously tense period of time there.
Well, it was. Everything, you run the gamut of issues, but obviously every little detail matters because, the play can go one direction or another very quickly. And so you got to make sure you're on top of everything. But then you were dealing with fatigue issues, and kids were cramping up, and we were trying to get them liquids and fluids and get everybody capable of playing. We had some injuries that we dealt with in late in the game and into the overtimes. So we were juggling line combinations and moving players around. Just had a lot of things going on. So it was a pretty tense, about an hour and a half there. So
Now, I'm a little out of the loop with some hockey stuff. I know the professionals go to a 3-on-3 in overtime. You guys are just the regular 5-a-side plus a goalie.
yeah, there's no 3-on-3 format in high school. You stay 5-on-5. The big thing is that you switch ends. So, you know, in hockey, you play 2/3 of the game with your goalie closer to your bench. So therefore you can get your defensemen and your players on the defensive side of the puck easier. In the second period, you change ends. And so there's issues that happen when you change ends. Your goalie's further away, your defensive zone that you're covering is further away. So players have to be cognizant of that and aware of how they change on the fly, and making sure that they don't leave the ice when the play is going back the other direction. And well, they do that in overtime as well. So in overtime, you change directions for the first and the third overtimes. And so that presents issues that you have to deal with. And so other than that, though, it's basically 5-on-5. There were no penalties called at all during the overtime. So there were no power play situations. So it was about 25, 26 minutes of extended play, where it is very grueling and taxing emotionally and mentally. But our boys did a really good job of staying focused and staying with it and finding a way.
You would at least get a Zamboni break, right? To resurface?
Yeah, well, you play the first overtime, which is 8 minutes, and then you get a Zamboni break, which we desperately needed. We were running to concessions and doing everything we could to get. We were out of Gatorades at that point. We were looking for ways to get fluids to these kids, and you know, we're running out of. We had boys run. We used to have team managers, but we didn't have team managers at the end. So we had players that were helping fill water bottles and do all kinds of things. And so we just had a lot of moving parts going on there and trying to keep kids stretched out. So we had a number of trainers and other people helping stretch kids out and making sure that they didn't cramp up or that they could handle the stress situation. And so, yeah, it was very busy in between periods. They did one Zamboni after the first overtime. Then you played the second overtime, which was 17 minutes. And then there's a 3-minute break period, and you started the third overtime. And so there was only one Zam after regulation. So it wasn't a lot of time to catch your breath, so to speak.
Yeah, I can imagine. And your goalie, Noel Osanowski, I understand, did yeoman's work and 43 saves and was named the tournament's most valuable player.
But Noel's an excellent goalie, and he does a really good job of reading plays. And there's an expression, goaltenders need to make themselves big. So, you know, the further you stay back in the net, the more that you give a player to shoot at. The closer you get to the shooter, the more you take away the angle they have to shoot, and therefore more pucks will hit you as a goalie. And that's, you know, most people don't want to get hit by pucks, but goalies do. And so he does a good job of making himself big. And to do that, you have to anticipate where the shots might be coming from. As a passer, if a player has a puck and he's likely to pass it, you know, that helps you go from left to right or from front to back or back to front to get the angles. And he does a really good job of anticipating the play, reading it, and making himself as big as possible to make the save, and then controlling the rebound so that there's not damage. You know, if the shot hits him and he doesn't capture it and sponge it up, you know, there could be a rebound. He does a good job of playing those.
Yeah, credit to him, certainly, and also John Lang, who kind of got you into the situation in the first place by scoring the tying goal in the third period, and then he won it very early in the third overtime. Was that partly due to fatigue on the other team's part because it happened so early in that third overtime?
Well, not really. I don't know if it was. It was a play where we chipped it off the glass, and you know, we were in our own zone and chipped it out into the neutral zone, and the puck took a bounce. So the defender, the left defender for them, had a pretty good bead on it. He was in the right area and normally would have been able to play it fairly easily, but we got a little bit of puck luck. It bounced over his stick, and Johnny was able to sort of get on the other side of him, which turned it into a one-on-one. And Johnny was going one direction, and he made a really, really nice cutback move. So he changed directions. And the other defender handled it pretty well, but he forced Johnny to the outside. And then Johnny just made the kind of shot that, not very many people can make. When you're going from your right to your left, and he sort of dropped his shoulder to fake, and then he shot it back against the grain into the upper corner of the net. I mean, you could practice that, and you have a lot of guys that could try that, but not very many could do that, and certainly not in that situation at that level of speed. So the shot was a goal scorer shot. It was a beautiful play, and we maybe got a fortunate bounce to create the opportunity, but then Johnny created the rest of it with just really good skating and puck handling.
So now you guys are the first non-Grand Forks winner of a state title since 2015. I understand that has got to feel great, as well as having your own first championship since 2006.
It does. There's everything about it feels really, really good. I mean, all year long, you hope that you can get there. And if you do get there, you're somewhat expecting to see, in this case, Grand Forks Red River. There's probably, if you look back over the course of North Dakota high school history and in the state tournament history, probably 90+% chance that if you get there as a non-Grand Forks team, you're going to run into a Grand Forks team, and chances are it's going to be the better of the two that particular year. And this year, I think that was Red River. It trades off. Sometimes it's Central and sometimes it's Red River. And this year, Red River had arguably the stronger team. And so we knew that if we got to the championship game, there was a pretty good chance we would run into Red River. And they're very good, and they do everything well. And they're big, and they're just a lot of seniors. They're just, everything about them is good. So if you can win that game, it will feel that much better, is what we always told the guys. Expect to play the best and have to beat the best if you want to win a championship. So
now you've got, I should mention two other of your players who are on the all-tournament team, a defenseman Trevor Moe and forward Colton Nestler. They, along with Noel, I think are among 12 seniors that will be graduating.
Yes. Yeah, we have a strong senior group. And these kids, most of them have been playing varsity hockey for multiple years. So I've been around them, both inside our program and then in youth hockey. I've been around some of these kids for 10 years or more. And so it's going to be a very difficult group to say goodbye to. They've been here a long time, and they're very talented, and they're hardworking, and they're pretty well cemented together and bonded. They're a group of kids that really enjoy playing together and accomplish something special.
Will some of them be going on to play junior hockey or maybe college next year?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, we don't know what all the opportunities are for kids, but I think several of them can. They're going to have to go through, tryout camps, and there's all kinds of steps in that process. But if they're willing to put in the work, I think several of them can find their way into different levels of junior hockey and eventually on into college hockey. There's all kinds of different levels of college hockey. There's the Division I that everybody knows about, which is UND and Minnesota. But there's ACHA teams like Minot State. That's they're a top ACHA Division I program. And you got places in Jamestown, Crookston, and all kinds of programs. There's Division III programs like Concordia and Moorhead, and others that are really solid places to play. So there's avenues for all these kids to move on and try to get to college hockey. But that, will be up to each individual and the work and effort that they're willing to put in to get there. I think we have several that can get there if they try.
And obviously you've had a lot of guys who put in that effort. That's why you are the North Dakota State champions. Dean French at Fargo South and Shanley, thank you so much, and congratulations again.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yep.
And we'll have more on the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show in a moment. Time to look at Minnesota girls high school basketball now. Dilworth, Glendon, Felton has their girls team in the Section 8AA semifinals as we speak this evening, taking on Perham in Detroit Lakes. Jason Sunde is the coach of the Rebels, and you guys are on a nice 8-game winning streak right now going into the game tonight.
Yeah, we've kind of strung together a nice stretch here. We started playing really well. I guess second half, even a couple of our losses, we played really well and played in some tight games. And then, yeah, we've really started clicking here down the stretch. So it's nice to see.
And that includes a win over Thief River Falls, who was in the other half of your bracket.
Yeah, we played really well against Thief. We got to play them at home and did a real nice job in that game. It was a close first half and then kind of got pulled away a little bit in the second half, but it was a good game the whole way through pretty much.
Tell me about your team. What makes it tick, I guess, or who are the people that make it tick?
Well, we got a group of 5 seniors that have basically been the group for the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
When I got the job during that shortened COVID year, this was kind of the group that was there. We had a couple older girls, but this was the group. You know, we had that first year we won 3 games and in the shortened season, and then we won 5 games last year. And this group has really stuck together and worked hard. And we got a couple younger girls stepping up and playing for us. And our seniors, Peyton Backus, Michaela Winter, Kaylee Peterson, Jackie Smith, and Gabby Tucker. Sorry, Gabby. No, that's the crew that's been with us for the last 3 years. And you know what? They've worked hard, and they just started clicking and filling out, knowing the roles. And yeah, it's just kind of come together late this season.
16 wins, I believe, going into tonight. So that's a pretty good jump from 5 to 16.
Yeah, they've done a really nice job. And kind of coming into this season, our goal was, we thought we had a good summer. We thought we could, surprise some people. We really wanted to work hard and get a home playoff game, finish in the top half. And we did that. And then we got a little fortunate. We got a second playoff game at home and took advantage of that. And here we are.
And now you take on a Perham team that I think was the last team to beat you, if I remember the schedule correctly. And I know from talking to them earlier in the season and just seeing where they've been ranked, that's a difficult bunch.
Oh yeah, we've had our problems with them. You know, we've lost to them twice this year. Both games kind of getting down early, and then trying to claw our way back into it. In our first game, I think we ended up falling by 8 to them, but it was more than that. And then we ended up kind of coming back at the end. But yeah, they're just an all-around good team. They can all shoot the ball. They have a really good post player in Willow Thiel. They pass it so well, play together so well, and they play good defense. So they're just a really good all-around team.
What will you need to do to stop that and advance yourselves?
Well, that's the tough question that we've been trying to figure out, I guess. But the first 2 times we played them this year, Maya Morris, who's a really, really good guard for them, and Willow Thiel had really good games. So, we try to slow them down a little bit and hope, some of the other girls, they're all around good. So we really just have to play solid all around, try to limit their open 3-pointers and rebound the ball well. And really, we've been playing so much better offensively. We take care of the ball, put some pressure on the defenses that are playing against us. And we got a pretty good post player in our 9th grader, Aria Garrett, too. So, yeah, I mean, it's just going to kind of be a collective thing. We're just going to have to try to slow them down a little bit and play our game.
Hopefully some good things and still some more basketball in store for the DGF Rebel girls. Jason Sunde, thanks very much. Good, and best of luck today.
Thank you very much.
And we'll continue on the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, brought to you by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation right after this. And that will do it for this edition of the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, brought to you by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. We'll have more basketball playoffs to talk about, boys and girls, Minnesota and North Dakota. We'll talk with coaches and players, and we'll have plenty of other things to talk about too on the high school sports scene as we get into the middle of March and March Madness going on. That does it here. Thanks very much to Jack Albee for putting all this together. And for Kevin Kochman and Chase Miller, I'm Joe Lancello. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next week on the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, brought to you by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation.